Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut Craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below. That will make you part of my crafty family here on YouTube, and it's completely free. Also, be sure to head over to my website, CorinneBlackstone.com, where you can sign up for my monthly newsletter. I would love to have you join. I put all sorts of fun things in that newsletter, and it's a great way to keep in touch. I'm going to show you guys how to make these really fun magnetic bookmarks. You can make these using lots of different materials. I'm going to show you using cardstock and faux leather today. And a really fun thing, you can get the free SVG for the mermaid tail over at my website, CorinneBlackstone.com. I'll link it down below for you guys. Also, linked down below is the TikTok where I got the idea from this, so be sure to give her a like and a follow. Now, I love these. They're really fun. You can use these in books you're reading or in your journals or your bubble journals, but it's just simply take and find the page you're on, pull your little magnets apart, place your magnets together on either side of your page, and you have a fun bookmark. It's just a cute thing that you can do, and it's really, really easy. These would make great little birthday favors or gifts. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you guys how easy this is to do. I'm going to show you not only using the SVG that I have made for you, but I'm also going to show you guys how you can make your own using an image from Cricut Design Space. So let's get started. I'm going to show you guys how to make these really cute bookmarks over here in Design Space. But first, let me show you how to upload the free one off my website. You just go to my website and download the zipped folder and then unzip it. I'll link below where I show you guys how to unzip things. But go ahead and click upload. Now, I've already uploaded it, but I'll upload again so you guys can see. Click upload image and then click browse. Find wherever you've put your image and you've unzipped it to. And you'll find the one that's going to possibly look like Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. Something like that. If it doesn't show as an SVG, go ahead and select that one, and it's going to load right into Cricut Design Space. Now, I've titled this Mermaid Tail Bookmark, but you can add tags to this to make it easier to find. So I'm going to add mermaid. We can do bookmark. You can do whatever you want to do to make this easier to find for you guys, because you can now search your designs. So I'm just going to do that for now, but you can add whatever you want. Click upload. And then you're going to select the image that you uploaded and insert the image into your canvas. Now, you will need to resize this. Design Space and Inkscape are not the best at communicating when it comes to sizing. So this is really big. This is going to be like a 6-inch tall, almost bookmark. So depending on how large of a book you want to put it in, that might be okay. But I'm going to size it down. I probably don't want it to go any bigger than maybe like 3.5 to maybe 4 inches total. And you'll see that we have 2 different pieces, technically 3, because the magnets are 2 separate pieces. So what you can do is just do it right like this. Just go ahead and click make it. You can ungroup it if you'd like to see what all the pieces are, and that way you can kind of see what it's going to look like. So these black pieces are our magnets, and then this is going to be your faux leather, your paper, whatever kind of material you want to cut this on. I'm going to use faux leather because it makes it a little bit heavier, but it's really fun to do with paper, especially like a thick paper. This is super fun, and these are great. You can use these for all sorts of things, but I'm going to show you guys how to make one on your own if you just want to make one of whatever you want. So I used a butterfly when I tested this, and it was really, really fun. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm just going to go into my images because I'm just going to use something from Cricut Design Space, but you can do anything that you want. And I'm going to search for butterfly. Now for this, I do want a pretty simple butterfly because it's going to be a bookmark and you want it to be relatively thick and heavy and easy to work with. So you just got to keep that in mind. You want to have something that's pretty solid. Now I had found a really cool one down this way a little bit that I thought was pretty neat, and it was really easy to cut when I tested this. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and find him again. It was this one right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is select this butterfly and click Insert Image. Now he does have this kind of swirly guy at the bottom, which we don't need. So you can either ungroup it and delete this piece, or you can just hide it by using this little eyeball over here in your Layers tab. The next thing that I need to do is actually slice him in half because I don't want it to fold so that the wings are into the book. I want the wings out of the book. And the easiest way I found to do that was to slice him in half and to actually take out the middle section of the butterfly. So I'm just going to get a shape and I'm just going to use a square, and we'll resize afterwards, so don't worry. I'm just going to leave a little bit of an edge here where his wing is, and don't worry about this antenna, we'll take that off. Select the square and the butterfly and click slice down here in the lower right hand side. Now this might take a moment, but don't worry, not a big deal. So you have a couple pieces now, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this piece and this piece, and you can get rid of the square. We don't need that anymore right now. Now what you can do is contour your butterfly to get rid of this piece of the antenna. So over on the right hand lower side, click the word contour, and all you're going to do is go ahead and get rid of that antenna. And then go ahead and click off of that. Now your antenna is gone. Now what I need to do is to duplicate my butterfly. Now I do have kind of a funky spot right here that I don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and just open a square again and slice it off. I just noticed it, and it's going to be kind of a pain when we go to put them together to have that little piece. So you just want to make sure you have a really flat surface and not like these little pieces. That's much better. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate my butterfly wing, and I'm going to go up here to flip, and I want to flip it horizontally. And rather than connecting here in the center like you would think, we're actually going to connect the outside of the wings, because that's how our butterfly is going to look like. He's kind of sitting on the edge of our book. What I'm going to do is select both of the wings, and I want to align the tops. And once those are aligned, I'm going to go ahead and weld them. You want them to overlap just a little bit. Do you see how it's just slightly overlapping? We absolutely want them to overlap, so go ahead and click weld. What you'll notice now is you don't have a cut line here in the center, which is exactly what we want. Now what I'm going to do is take my box, and I'm going to slice out a magnet shape. Go ahead and select the wings and the box and click slice. Now don't worry, it's going to slice a part off your wing, and that's okay. What I'm going to do is take part of my box, move it, and part of my wing and move it off. What I'm going to do is select the full wings and this piece that's sliced off, and I'm just going to go ahead and weld those again. Simple as that, really easy to do. It's just a really simple way to slice something and then not have to worry about trying to make it again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send these wings to the back so that I can see my magnet piece on top of my wing. I want to make the magnet just a little bit smaller than the wing. That way it doesn't hang over the edge. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this little piece because we'll need two of them. And I am going to flip this horizontal. The reason I'm flipping it is because our magnet does have a sticky side and a non-sticky side. So it's important that you have these done in opposite ways so that they will actually slice out. Now I am going to resize this because this one's a little bit small, and we can go ahead and make this one bigger. Now again, keep in mind it's only going to be half this wide, but the tall is the correct moment because you have to keep that in mind when you're sizing. So if you wanted a full 3-inch item, you actually need to make this about 6 inches. That's going to give you a 3-inch tall item. So I'd go all the way to 6 inches, and that is going to give you about a 3-inch tall design. So keep that in mind. But I think we're going to probably do him right about there. That looks like a good size. I'm going to cut the mermaid tail on faux leather, and then I think we'll do the butterfly on some heavy cardstock. I just think it'll be fun to try it with 2 different types of products. We need to cut this on 3 separate materials. So for the wings, those are going to be the heavy cardstock. The tail here is actually going to be faux leather, but these 2 small pieces of the tail and these 2 small pieces are going to be magnet sheets, so we can make those all the same color. Now you could just go change the color up here at the top, or what you can do is just go to Color Sync and drag the pieces into the same line as the item you want it to be the same color as. Just makes it really, really easy. Now we're going to click Make It, and we'll have 3 separate mats. Our butterfly wings, our magnet sheet, and our mermaid tail. I'm super excited to cut this out with you guys. This is such a fun project, and I have to say that TikTok has been a great place to find really fun ideas. I am going to link the video where I got this idea down below. It was so cute. Now we're going to click Continue, and it's going to ask us to choose our cut setting. So again, we're going to do the butterfly wings on cardstock, Then we're going to do this black one with magnet sheet and this one with faux leather. So I'm going to show you guys how to select each of those materials. For this one, the medium cardstock setting works really, really well, and we just need our fine point blade. It's very, very easy to do. Once you've cut that out, you'll go to where it says base material set to, click on that, and you can change your cut setting. I'm going to click browse all materials, and I'm just going to search for magnet. For the sheets that I'm using, I will link those in the description down below, but I find the magnet sheet 0.6 millimeter works perfectly for that one. So then all you do is select it and click done. Once we're ready to cut the last one, which is our faux leather, this is faux leather from Hobby Lobby. I'll link it down below if I can find it on their website. But if you're in Hobby Lobby looking, they have this type of leather over by all their ribbons and their materials, like their fabrics and things. So what you'll do is click base material set to, and I use the faux leather paper thin, and then I use it with more pressure. That seems to work perfectly for this faux leather. We're going to use some glitter cardstock for the butterfly, so this is really easy. I'm just going to go ahead and load that. And just hit the little go button when it's flashing. Once that one's done, we're going to go ahead and unload, and then you can pop your design off of your mat. So there's the butterfly. The next thing we're going to do is load our magnet sheet. Our magnet sheet has two sides. This is the sticky side, and then this is the magnet side. I find it cuts best if the sticky side is up. It seems to just do a better job cutting, so I'm going to go ahead and load it with the sticky side up. And then we need to change out our blade for this one because this requires the deep point blade. The next thing that we'll need to do is use our deep point blade to cut the magnet sheet. So I'm going to use my deep point housing and my deep point blade. You'll see there's a difference in how far the blade sticks out. It gives you a little bit more space between the bottom of your housing and your blade so that it can get a little bit of a deeper cut. Now this one is good for the Maker and for the Explorer. So you can use it in either one of your machines. I'm going to go ahead and load my magnet sheet. And we'll go ahead and make sure that all of the cut settings are right on our computer. Once that's done, we can go ahead and unload. And I'll show you guys that it cut these. So there you go. Those are the ones for your butterfly. Now, I will say that this doesn't cut them all the way through, but mostly it doesn't matter. It cuts them through enough that you can punch them out really easy. So it's not like a big deal that it didn't cut them all the way through. You can always do more pressure, but the last time I did more pressure, it kind of cut almost too deep and it cut into my mat. So I didn't want to do more pressure. The next thing that we're going to do is use our faux leather. This is the faux leather we're using. Isn't it so pretty? I'm super excited. And I'm just going to use this on my fabric grip mat. It's pretty easy to do. You just put it face up and you want to make sure that it's stuck down really well to your fabric grip mat. I don't cut my leather down until I need to. That way I'm not going to waste a ton of leather by cutting it, and I might cut it too big or too small. Now I will say it does tell me to change out my blade, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to pull out my deep cut housing blade, which again is just this black housing, and I'm going to put my basic blade right back in. That's the fine point blade that comes with your machine, and you're just going to load that right back in. If you haven't invested in a little container for your blades and your housings, I highly recommend it. This is one of my favorite things that I got from Cricut, and I love that it holds all of my housings and my blades, and I can even fit a bunch of the heads and extra blades and things down here in the little cup at the base, and it has little spots to hold everything in place. I do have a container of random blades in there, so it's okay. And then it just snaps closed, and you can just close the lid, and all of your stuff is held together nice and neat. Now I'm going to go ahead and let this cut out. Now that that's done, we are going to unload it. Now I did pull this out because it kept getting caught, but it's fine. It was all cut. So it does have a few moments where sometimes it might get stuck, and you may have to help it because it's not held down really, really well. Like these little corners for some reason this time were a little bit of a pain. So I may have to cut those by hand. I'm not sure why it does that. Our 2 pieces are cut out, so now what we need to do is put our magnet pieces on, and this is super easy. What you're going to do is flip them both over so that the white backing is up, and I'm just going to take these 2 pieces and set them on the mermaid. We'll get to that one in a second. And then what I'm going to do is take our butterfly. These have to go a specific way or they won't fit, so you may need to test them out on either side to get it to be on the right side of your butterfly. Now keep in mind the blue part is the sticky part, so when you go to figure out which side it goes on, you'll want to put the blue part down. And remember, these are just a little bit smaller than the wings so that they wouldn't hang out on the sides. Now all we're going to do is peel off the blue. You can either just peel it off with your finger or use a pin pen or your weeding tool if you can't get the blue peeled off. Sometimes it's a little bit too sticky on there, but it comes off pretty easy. So all you're going to do now is just place your magnet onto your wing, and you'll do that on both sides. This works so good on paper. It's really, really fun. It's a great way to just add a little bit of fun to your books or your journals, your planners, things like that. So now that one's done. The mermaid tail's a little bit easier because these are pretty much the same, so it doesn't really matter which side you put them on as long as they match up with the top and the bottom of the tail. So again, just stick that right down. I've done several of these and the magnets don't seem to come off of the faux leather real easy, so it's really nice. It's a great way to use these magnets. I'm just going to go ahead and put that one on, and then let's get a book and I'll show you how they look. Okay, so we're ready to show you guys how these look. So here's our butterfly wings. All you're going to do is fold them in half so that the magnets match up and it's going to make a wing. Now all you have to do is take it, and you can put it anywhere on the page that you want to, and this is going to hold where your page is. So we'll just use this couple pages right here, and there you go. And then when you close it, and you can pull this out a little bit, it looks like a little butterfly is hanging out in your book. Isn't that cute? It's so fun, so easy to do. I'm going to put the mermaid tail one up in the top for you guys, but this is such a fun thing to do. Really, really cool. And you can pretty much do any shape that you want as long as it matches up and it's double-sided. There you go. Look how cute. And then you can close it and you have a little mermaid tail. Isn't that fun? Now, the longer you use it, the flatter it will sit. It's brand new, so it's sitting a little bit puffy right now, but once you use it a few times, it will sit a little bit flatter, but look at how cute that is. And you can always pull it out a little bit more if you want a little more of the tail showing. This was such a fun and quick, easy craft. If you guys have any questions, let me know in those comments down below. And make sure to check out the TikToker who gave me this fun idea. She has some really cute stuff on her Etsy and on her TikTok account, so be sure to give her a like and a follow. Don't forget that you can go to my website to get the free SVG for the mermaid tail, but you can also make any kind that you want very, very easily over on Design Space. If you have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting!